Good morning, everybody. We are back. We are back. Zom 100 is freaking back. Yes, we are back now with Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead. Now, for this episode has been delaying because of production values, because of the events that's going on in Japan. I get all of that. But I said before my video yesterday, stop delaying one of the greatest shows of this summer. I'm getting tired of the delaying. Now, we on episode 6. And right now, we have covered volume 1, volume 2. Now, we on volume 3, everybody. Yes, volume 3 of Zom 100. We're now in this volume. Now, here's the thing. Since the show has been delayed for most of the time, people have now caught up on Zom 100. People may have watched the live action, which I did, and people was waking up in the morning for this. I mean, a lot of people, it was sad because people had tried so many countless ways to watch this, from Hulu, Netflix, Crunchyroll. We tried all sources, but it didn't come up. So this show aired at 2 o'clock in the morning, like always. I wish it aired like in the afternoon or in the morning, like 8 o'clock. But it's at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I took it upon myself to wake up at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning just to watch Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead. And this episode did not fail me. And like I said, we're covering volume 3. So in the zombie apocalypse, you know, for people who watch zombie movies like myself, in the zombie apocalypse, there's always a thing where it's not just special creatures that we're seeing, but it's also facing past trauma and facing the fears of people that were higher ups than you. And like this episode, we have got that. So, without further ado, let's get right to it with Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead, episode 6 review. Okay, now, I'm pretty sure everyone has caught up. So, episode 6 had like a good moment towards a bad moment. Episode 6 did that. Akira, my boy Akira and his friend, you know, Kencho. I mean, you gotta love this best friend duo they have. I mean, they decided to go shopping for watches. So, Akira, since you got an expensive watch, I want to show you my expensive watch. I mean, look at this. Look at this expensive watch. And this watch came from Invicta. This watch came from Invicta. Like, this is one of those expensive watches that is going to be, like, one of those expensive watches. In a case like this, yeah. So, I like how Akira and the other, I like that it just went watch shopping and all that. Now, because of the power out, they had no food and water, so they decided to, like, travel light, like in Zombieland Saga. Zombieland Saga, I'm going to get to that. Like, like the movie Zombieland, where you just go travel light. They decided to leave. They decided to leave Tokyo. They decided to leave, go to Akira's hometown. But to do that, they needed an RV. And just when things gets crazy, just when it's just like unimaginably, like it's so obvious, like here comes Shizuka getting an RV herself. And you know what's funny about this? This is the 3rd time that Akira encounters Shizuka. Had anybody noticed that? This is the 3rd freaking time that they encounter. Think about this. The first time they encounter was Akira all happy going for a beer run in the store. The second time was in an aquarium where they fought in a zombie shark with legs. Now this time they had an RV. How convenient is that? So they decided to go to this auto show where there's like all these unique RVs. It's kind of like the auto show at the Jacob Javits Center. New York Jacob Javits Center. You know how they got all those car dealers and all that shit? They're showing off the cars. This is with the RVs. And every RV is different. From a 4-wheeler to an 8-wheeler. Some RVs has like a tent above it. Some RVs have a jacuzzi there. And that's what it was. And, you know, having Shizuka being all serious about, like, we got to pick the smart RV. She did show us her cute side. You know, looking at an RV that is so fly. That is so fly for her to just say, oh my God, it's so beautiful. Like, she has touch. She showed up for Kundere's side. I love it. I love it. Best girl. I know everybody gonna say other characters from the summer are best girl, but Shizuka is the best girl of the summer. I'm not even gonna argue with that. Now, just when they have to look around, louding, shouting about these RVs, a horde of zombies comes in, and they decide to take just a simple RV, which is good. I like the RV. They decided to take the RV while Zencho was riding his motorcycle. He's trying to be like Daryl Dixon. He's trying to be like Daryl Dixon. Let me just put that. Now, as they travel around, it was good. But then, this is where this is where I get pissed off. Guys, this is where I get pissed off. You know how like in those, when those cop shows, they put the little spikes on the on the streets, so that when the cops are on a highway speed chase, they put there to stop to slash the tires so them to slow down. That's what they did in this one. While they were driving to Akira's hometown, those spiky tracks crash, blew up their tires. And then here comes the bullshitter here. Remember what I said? In a zombie apocalypse, there's always special zombies, and they're freaking humans who have this higher up. And that's what this was. And guess who showed up? And guess who's still alive? I don't fucking lie. The chief. The chief that been tormenting Akira for years while we're in his job. That dude, that son of a bitch. Big ass, fake ass, Negan looking like son of a bitch. This chief trying to be all high and mighty, just like Negan, even though I love Negan from The Walking Dead. Negan's the best character of mine. I mean, top 3. But my point is, this fake ass Negan looking like wants to take it. Okay. So he's like, hey, how you doing? It's been a long time. I see you still alive, all that bullshit. But that thing affected Akira so badly. Like, his past trauma is affecting him. And that's what this episode did us. It showed us how Akira is living in fear of the past. His past, his fear is affecting everything that he's been working on through these episodes. And especially his freaking bucket list. So, the chief is just a dick. He's a dick. Because he saw not only Akira's friend got injured, and to see all these zombies, he's like, here, I'll tell you what, Akira, if you decide to work with me for 2 days, I'll let you live. You just gotta work with me for 2 days. Just like old times. Bullshit. Now, I get it, it's a dick move, but Akira had no choice. I mean, his friend got injured. You would have done the same thing. And then your tire slashed, you would have done the same thing. You had no choice. But you see Akira's trembling in fear? That was the biggest thing about this, is trembling in freaking fear. And to see him like this is really hard. So he had no choice. So the chief and this whole crew of baseball team took him. They took Akira and his friends to this area, took him to the environment. But again, being a dick move that he is, the chief is a dick. I mean, he let the workers work so hard in the sun to a point where you see a pregnant lady working. Again. Let me say this again. He let a pregnant woman work. Don't you get it? That's fucked up. That's fucked up. I kid you not. That is fucked up. But again, it just shows you just how ego a human is with all that power, and you don't do a freaking thing except giving power. That's what it is. And Akira again is living in fear so bad that it's not even funny. I mean, we see him. It's just that Akira's having the time of his life. Everything he wanted to do, he didn't want to work, but now he's back. It's like seeing the chief, he's trembling in fear, like his throat hurts, his heart is pounding. It's just, it's very hard for him to speak up because he's living in fear. He's living in the past. And the past, that the years of working and trembling in fear and the shouting this that the chief has been given over the years is now affecting him. It's now in effect of him, and it's affecting him mentally and physically that he can't even think straight. So right now his mind is all about work, and he don't even have time to have fun. That's what it is. But the chief being a total dick about it, I mean, being an asshole, he went over the top with showing the area in terms of how zombies are. He's treating zombies and humans as an equipment. Yeah, zombies, I mean, yeah, zombies, you use them as barricades, use them as security, and you're using zombies to pull RVs, but again, you're using humans as an equipment because you're fat and lazy. That's what the chief is. He's fat, he's lazy, he's trying to show up for fucking Negan looking like, and that's the thing. So now, Shizuka understands what Akira's going through because, again, she was in that same predicament as she was. And if you guys get ready for her backstory next week, please don't let it be late. You're going to see what I'm talking about. But that's how it is in this. That's how it is. But again, this episode was really good because it showed us that zombies, this episode really good because you have to remember, in a zombie apocalypse, there's always not just about zombies, but there's always the higher up with the biggest egos that controls the area. It's kind of, again, if like The Walking Dead, where you got the chief, you had the governor, you had Negan, you had Alpha, those kind of higher ups of power. And that's what this was, showing about there's a power and you can't overcome it. Now, on Twitter/X, they mentioned some Zombieland Saga characters. Little references. So, I took it upon myself to watch it twice just to see where the Zombieland Saga characters are. And they are. There's literally 4 of them. Let me get my tablet here because I took like a little shots of the 4. And not shots, but I showed you. So, if you guys look at the tablet here, they show Sakura, they show Ai, they show Shaki, and they show Yugiri. They show 4 out of the 7. Now, for those of you who haven't watched Zombieland Saga, you should. And if you guys don't know the references, I'll tell you where they at. So, the first reference was when they show Saki, the blonde-haired zombie girl, underneath the tire when she came out of the car. Underneath the car. That was that reference. The other reference is when they show Ai with the hair as they're walking towards Akira. And when they got into Akira, that's that. And the other 2 zombies, which is Sakura and Yugiri, when they were using the zombies as to pull the RV into the lot. So those are 4 specific ones. And again, you have to slowly look at the hair color of the zombies. You'd be like, oh, they're from Zombieland Saga. That was the little hint. So again, there are 4 zombies in this one. One of them is when underneath the car. One of them that got out of the car, underneath the car, coming up. One was walking towards Akira with the horde, and 2 of them were using them as equipment to pull the RV into the lot. And those are the 4 references that's there. So, again, this was a good episode. We're finally back now. I love this show so much. Pray to God ain't gonna be no freaking delays. I hope not. But this episode did show us just how a zombie apocalypse are, like, in terms of, like, it's not just about zombies, but it's always about these people with higher power controlling these people and not doing a fucking thing. And the chief, being a dick that he is, I'm pretty sure we all want him dead. No question. And it's affecting Kira. And Akira, I feel bad for him in this. We all do. So, I look forward for next week's episode of Zom 100 Bucket List of Dead. Thank God they said I know next week's gonna be episode, but I'm not trying to jinx it. I don't even want to jinx it. Let's just pray that it's gonna be. So, stay tuned for next week.